Welcome to Akhand Vidyashram, the first institute of impeccable wisdom, the walking, talking encyclopedia. Samyam, an integrated, conscious state of matter. My mission, the impeccable wisdom, knowing which everything is fully known. My greatest discovery, Devyank, the divine design of nature, with which the perfect objects are designed and created. Devyank is a reward of 60 years of integrated education. Impeccable wisdom is enlightening, and integrated knowledge is empowering. Now, I have added a new dimension which normally is not spoken about in Patanjali Yoga Sutra. I have put the first name Samyam. And this is after 8 stages of Ashtanga Yoga, starting from Yam, Niyam, Yogasana, Pranayam, Pratyahara, Dharana, Dhyan, and Samadhi. But the reason why I brought Samyam as a separate after 8 stages is very clear because Dharana, Dhyan, and Samadhi, all the three put together are called Samyam. And when they work in unison with each other, only then you can go to the higher levels of consciousness. It's not with Dharana alone, or Dhyan alone, or Samadhi alone. You got to understand all the three, they have to work in unison. So as a result, that could be called the ninth state of consciousness. So from that angle, to understand that ninth state of Brahm, complete Samyam is understood completely so that we can make optimum use to be in tune with universal consciousness. So hence, let's start again from step 1 of Yam alone. Yam is the first 5 great virtues of life which have to be understood completely. And once again, I am making it very, very clear. Satya, Satyamev Jayate, Om Tat Sat, Satya Anand, Sat is everything, has to be understood from A to Z in everything. As long as you are in tune with your inner consciousness, you are speaking truth, you can tell the whole world, you can never tell a lie to your own self. Once that is understood and you do not speak unnecessary, unwanted thing, the better it is. But I do know, to be completely truthful, conscious, and otherwise, world may or may not understand you completely. The one of the safest way is to maintain healthy silence. Second part is ahimsa, the non-violence. I have already spoken. This is very important. We are not designed to kill people. And particularly, as I've been saying, this is for spiritual science work. And one who want to be in tune with universal consciousness, completely understand for the benefit of the self and the world, you need to have ahimsa, non-violence as your core value. Non-stealing is another thing which have to be kept in mind to grow to the higher level of consciousness. You should not be bonded with the external world as it is. Use it to be effective and be happy with it. Fourth level of brahmacharya is great consciousness, awareness of the power of testosterone in a male and estrogen in a female, to make use of that to create the heat within the body and then move on to the higher and higher levels of consciousness, from ojas to tejas to virya to universal consciousness. Apigra, the last one, non-possessiveness should be the criteria from the day one. From 5 yamas make a very important role for preparing yourself to the higher and higher levels of consciousness. Having set 5 stages of virtues for yamas, 5 stages of great disciplines for niyams, which you have to prepare yourself to work it up to higher level. The first thing is the time management is very important, then search, external search as well as internal search, to make sure that you are perfectly healthy, completely satisfied. All the things which are required, you must take care and keep it available so that you don't have to worry about things which are required for your physical, emotional, mental, spiritual, and integrated spiritual being. Tapas, heat is absolutely essential. That was one of the reasons why Yajurveda talks about austerities, the heat production, with all the yajna and otherwise. Have to be understood that we should do that in day-to-day life within self. Then self-study of the self from A to Z of all the 100 trillion cells, from atomic level to molecular level to compound level to cells to function otherwise. A to Z is understood, then you can understand universal consciousness much better. We represent the macrocosmic representation within the microcosmic consciousness. Ishwar Pranidhana, the gods rendered the higher forces which are there to think that understanding them, flowing with that is absolutely essential. So from that, Yam and Niyam play a very important role for bringing up austerity or complete emotional sufficiency. In Yogasana, I have been saying there are 108 different sutras which are responsible for different yogas. You have to make sure that every morning or evening, both at least 1 hour at a time, you go through exercises, keep yourself stretched, and make sure that every cell of your body is flexible and you do not suffer from any problem. And one other thing which I recommend is Surya Namaskar, all the 12 steps with 12 names of Lord Shiva would prepare yourself for perfect physical health by and large. Pranayam, oxygen is absolutely essential for working, and it's the middle of the 5 Panchakoshas. When oxygen is reduced, you can go to solids and water. When it's added more in fluctuating state, higher temperature, you go to Vayu as well as Akash. So from that angle, taking and breathing oxygen from the atmosphere and expelling out carbon dioxide is absolutely essential. At the same time, what oxygen which we take is used to digest carbohydrates and other proteins and convert into carbon dioxide and water to be expelled. As a result, the balance of inhalation and exhalation is maintained 24/7. That's also one point which has to be kept in mind why pranayam is very, very important for going to the higher levels of universal consciousness. Next in this is pratyahara, the withdrawal of senses from the external world. Once again, I'm making it clear, we should be aware of everything which is going completely without any problem, with eyes open, ears open, senses exposed, taste everything together. With the eyes open, you should be able to see the world, but world should not touch you at all. If you can do that, pratyahara is one. If the initial stages are bringing down to the Muladhara chakra at the bottom, and this is to bring it to the heart. And no wonder many of the Upanishads talk about soul in the heart at thumb size of a thumb. It's a coincidence otherwise, but it's been spoken very well, and I go by that. Bhakti Yoga, devotion, heart plays very important role, and that is Vishnu Garanti, would also take you to Brahma Sutra. Next in the line to be thought about dharana. Create a shield about it. Having withdrawn from the mind from the external world, you bring it inside. From heart you go to Vishuddhi Chakra, purify the whole thing within that, and create that within thyroid gland energy to be used for spiritual evolution. So dharana is create a shield around the inner mind and keep the mind energy very well and use it for higher and higher evolution. If Muladhara is for apana, Samana with Usha is for digestion, Vayana or heart is for oxygen, and Udana from Vishuddhi Chakra to the higher brain, it is Dharana. So from that angle, this plays very important role. This has to be understood, appreciated and implemented one and all. Next is Dhyana, the concentration of the mind for a subject and object for as long as you find out all the defects and then finally you get the impeccable wisdom, knowing which everything is fully known. Don't stop short. And that is Dhyana Panpur. And person who has understood all the aspects of universal nature, A to Z completely, directly, indirectly from childhood as he grows over and over, will be in a better position to understand universal consciousness much better and thereby able to move to higher levels much more easily with the help of Dhyana. Next in the line is Samadhi, an eternal state of the mind. Now, one thing you should have understood, Patanjali is talking about fluctuation of the mind, controlling the fluctuation mind bringing mind to universal consciousness and playing to the higher and higher levels of consciousness is what this is all about. Anyone who is able to do that, I can tell you, you can be in tune with universal consciousness, move on very well, and to higher and higher levels of consciousness. So all the 8 stages have already brought it very close. And now understanding that, just for a revision, Yam for emotional stability, Niyam disciplines, Yogasanas for physical health, Pranayam for mental, emotional, intellectual health, then withdrawing senses from the external world, then creating a shield around the mind, then using the mind to understand A to Z of every subject around the world, what would be dhyana? And then understanding everything and coming to the state of Satchitanand, having understood everything A to Z, you have nothing else to worry about. You come to stage of Samadhi. Now, having understood this particular thing, now we are ready for the 9th step to make it key why Ashtanga Yoga actually talks much more than just 8 stages of yoga alone. Let's start the next concept. There are 5 samyams or samyam called. And let's understand each samyam clearly, all the 5, so that we understand what exactly it means, then how to use it to go to higher and higher levels of consciousness. The first samyam in samyam is Triyam Ekatra Samyam. That means 3, which are Dharana, Dhyan and Samadhi. 3 constitutes samyam and integrated states of consciousness. So Akhandta, Akhand Yoga is this part where Dharana, Dhyan and Samadhi, all the 3 put together, you bring it and then concentrate. During my PhD work, I had the 3 states of consciousness brought in together. One was Dharana with no concentration, Dhyana concentration, Muladhara, and Samadhi concentration at the head. And the differences of power spectrum analysis with the eyes open and eyes closed are shown, and there was a tremendous improvement. Dharana was good, Dhyana was better, Samadhi was even better. So from that angle, this is very clear, Samyam is to be done, and that was the central part of my PhD work. And no wonder I could produce alpha frequency with eyes open anywhere and everywhere once I started doing seriously very well. Now, that is one part. Second part, which understand, dharana means the shield around the mind. Dhyana, pinpointed concentration of the mind. Samadhi is the even state of the mind consciousness. All the 3 are mind. From A to Z is the complete mind. When you come to that stage, then you are put together. Dharana, Dhyan, Samadhi is what Samyam is all about. Now, second part is Taj, Jayat, Rajyoga. When you are able to do all the 3 together, Dharana, Dhyan and Samadhi, you are able to concentration to every part, then what appears in the process? By learning and mastering Samyam, the light of Pragyan or Prajna, the enlightenment and the impeccable wisdom are recognized, conceived and revealed fully. Very second sutra itself, it talks about it. Having done Samyam completely, the greatest advantage is, after that, having learnt everything, the knowledge of Pragyan, a light of Pragyan, enlightenment and impeccable wisdom, will be recognized, conceived and revealed fully to the person who is in tune with universal consciousness. It is not only controlling the mind, going beyond has been put very clearly in the process, and that is what I wanted this to be separate so that we can understand the concept very, very clearly. Third is Tasya Bhumis Bhimigra. That means the foundation of Pragyan or the impeccable wisdom or this enlightenment is Vinigraha. The science of yoga are innate, Sahaj, Sadhana, simple, and natural Vinigraha. All the 3 are very natural part. Their Bhumika, this fold foundation pillar is very, very clear. So that is the third one. Fourth is Trayam Antra Angram Purvecha. That means the 3, Dharana, Dhyan and Samadhi, are the internal parts of relation to the preceding for 5 external preparatory efforts. In other terms, before these 3 come, you have Purve, means previous 5 stages. Yeah, have to be understood. So all the 8 have to be understood to make optimum use of coming to Samyam so that you can be in tune with universal consciousness. Tat api bahirangam nirvasya. That means even Savija Samadhi with seat is an external part in relation to the seatless Nirvija Samadhi. Now you have brought another concept into the pictures. Samadhi, even state of mind with the seat, and Samadhi without even seat, the ultimate state of consciousness has to be appeared, and that is what Samyam is all about. And that is what is Kaivalya, that is what Prajna, that is impeccable wisdom. Even Patanjali Yoga Sutra is talking of that, provided you understand the concept very clearly, step by step. Now, having understood all the 5 things, lines of Samyam, you can really understand all the 8 steps of preparing you for the ultimate consciousness, which you are in tune with universal consciousness. As a result, A to Z of everything is fully known to you, once for all. And this is something which I haven't seen anybody making a separate conscious effort to prove. Dharana, Dhyan, Samadhi should be taken together, have to be understood, taken into impeccable wisdom, and understood in totality, everything. Once that is done, you are truly a yogi. Stop the fluctuation mind. And in the next one, I'm going to talk about different stages of Samadhi and what result is, how they go about it, how it is done. So now preparing it for the next unfolding of things much later. But anyway, there's one thing which I want, another concept of Samyam to be brought together, which goes in hands and grows with Samadhi, Dharana, Dhyan, Samadhi, Samyam. Let's understand that now, the next one. Samyam. There are 10 stages of Samyam. Dharana, Dhyan, Samadhi is the first step. Sa, Vitark, Samprita. Sam means knowledge which is even, with Tark, action and discussion, cognition with reasoning is to be understood completely, and that is the first step. You start discussing about every concept step by step. Having understood the cognition with reasoning, you got to go to the next stage, Nivrikalpa Tark Samprajata. That means cognition without reasoning. Means you have understood that completely. Now you can go to the next stage, which is asamprata, mean emptiness, shunya, emptiness. Having taken one concept, understood every aspect of the particular concept, cognition with reasoning, then without reasoning, then going to empty stage, is the first stage which has to be understood. After that, savichar, cognition with right thoughts, nirvichar, without thoughtless. Then again asaprita, annihilation or nirodha. First is shunya, then nirodha is eliminated. Now you have no thoughts, no reasoning, absolutely nothing. You come to nirodha part. But then you go to the next stage of sabija samadhi, samadhi with the right seats, samadhi without seatless, then go to the prajna stage at the first level. Now, what do you see I'm trying to show over a period in this is nothing but emerging of Om once again. A is associated with Dharana, Dhyan, Samadhi, then Tark, Vitark, then coming to emptiness, then Vichar, Nirvichar, coming to a stage, then seed, seedless, and then go to Pragyan. And these are the 4 stages which have to be understood in Samyam. If you want to be in tune with yourself, tuned with universe, tuned with divinity, all that is there in the 4th chapter called Kaivalya or Prajna. In that is explained very well in the whole thing. From that angle, I would definitely say understanding Samyam after 8 stages of Yam, Niyam, Yogasana, Pranayam, Pratyahara, Dharana, Dhyan, and Samadhi, then coming to Samyam to understand 3, then understand how things go step by step to come to stage of Prajna, the absolute cognition, a resultant impeccable wisdom, knowing which everything else is known. And when you do that with all the respects, Samyam gives you that advantage of being one with universal consciousness and done with it. Now, having understood that, now let's go to the last stage to understand how final work of Kundalini is known to me as such. But before that, I would definitely like to show that with respect to this integrated state of consciousness, which I call Akhand Yoga, integrated mean Akhand, state of the mind, Yoga is that. In this, I have shown two PhDs work and subsequent part, two EEG with the power spectrum analysis, one with eyes closed, the upper one, another with eyes closed, the lower one, and upper one you can see 8.5 hertz throughout the entire brain with eyes closed. With the eyes open, it becomes 8 hertz throughout the brain with eyes open. And it shows that whether my eyes are open, eyes are closed, I am in the universal consciousness. And that is one thing which I wanted to show. Okay, when you are in tune with Samyam, you are in tune with universal consciousness. You are totally one with that, whether your eyes are open, closed. You are one, absolutely one with each other. And this is what the reality is all about. And that was the beauty of my PhD work and how I have gone on to next one. Now let's same thing. Muladhara chakra is the bottom part, which I call dhyana, and without any concentration on any part, the EEG which I had taken was on dharana, and concentration right on top, which you can see as the Sahasrara chakra, was samadhi, and the results were phenomenal by and large. But in the process, I could feel that as I started moving from Muladhara to Swadhisthana, to Nabhi and Manipura, Usha to Anhata, Vishuddhi, Agnya, Vigyan, Pragyan, and Sahasrara, there were 10 plus chakras. And when I could bring the consciously right into the ventricles of the brain and integrate the entire nervous system step by step fully, I could produce that kind of EEG which you have seen in the last one. 8 hertz with eyes open, 8.5 hertz with eyes closed. That has been one of them. To the best of my knowledge, as on today, I have not seen anybody else demonstrating that on record till date. I have spoken about it for since 2001. It is part of my PhD work, is part of my books, is a part of so many things. But it's very unfortunate that work is not published in any of the journals because they were not prepared to accept it as it is for whatever reason. Anyway, doesn't really matter. Now I have the golden opportunity to share it to the best of my ability and let the entire world know what it is all about. Now the complete package of Patanjali Yoga Sutra, Kundalini Yoga, Akhand Yoga, and many other things have appeared, and there are miles and miles to go to explain almost everything in totality and then say, Yoga is the ultimate. If you can do it, you can do wonders. And result of this is Divyank, 22 by 21 to the power of 10.34419, equivalent to 1.618034. That's the absolute, and I'm glad that I've done that. For the first time in the history of mankind, I'm leaving it that. Now it's up to the world, to people to use it to make impeccable wisdom known to every child from school, college to the university, so that we have uniform education throughout the world. So with that angle, let me say thank you very much. It was wonderful speaking to you.